Hi and welcome to trunk training, an intense training for the legs, the abs, the obliques, the arms and also for wrist strength. And while we're doing this, between the exercise, we're going to do always an exercise, and then I'm going to read from here something to Adiabatic Process, and we try to understand whatever that is, and participating in the exercises at your own risk. So let's start with warm-up exercise. Just the legs sitting wide apart, breathing in, and out again. Breathe in again, and out, and again in, and out, and last time in, close the legs. And we can start with the first exercise. So you have a standing leg, the other leg comes up into the air with a right angle and a flexed foot. We have even lined hips that we're taller than the back. And now we're pressing from the top against the knee. We're having a little bend in the elbow. We're doing this with effort. So even lined hips, taller than the back, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, little bend in the elbow, and keep pressing with effort, even aligned hips and a straight back. And we're switching. Now with the other leg. The leg up, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even light hips, taller with the back, little bend in the elbow, and press with effort. Even light hips, taller with the back, and keep pressing. And the first thing to adiabatic processes. The adiabatic process has something to do with thermodynamics, so it has something to do with thermodynamics. Thermodynamics has something also to do with heat and something like that. It has something to do with thermodynamics. The opposite of adiabatic is diabatic. That makes sense from the word. Adiabatic and diabetic. Adiabatic, diabetic. Next exercise. Legs standing wide apart. We're going into quarter squat and we're pressing the hand against the upper part of the leg with quite a lot of effort. And now the other side. And now we're going into half squat and we're pressing on the middle part of the leg. And on the other side. Then we're going into three-quarter squat and we're pressing close to the knee. And on the other side. Now on to the next exercise. Again, one leg up, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even lined hips, taller with the back. And now we're pressing on the inside. Again with a lot of effort. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even lined hips, taller with the back, little bend in the elbow. And we're switching to the other side. Even aligned hips, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, taller with the back, little bend in the elbow. Effort. If something is inside of inexpendable but not adiabatic walls and heat is put in, the temperature rises. Also work cannot come out. Whatever work is. If something is inside of inexpendable but not adiabatic walls, so we have something and inside of it is something. The walls are not adiabatic, but they can also not expand. And when heat is put in and when the temperature rises. In a way it makes very much sense, but it's not very good to understand. Next exercise. We're going into full squat and we're pressing against the knee and we're going towards the knee. And again, press against the knee, go towards the knee. And the last round. On to the next exercise. Again, the leg up, right angle, foot flex. Now we're pressing with the knee one time. Up to the side, up and to the side. So right angle with the leg, flexed foot. even aligned hips, forward at the back, and with effort, knee up beneath the side. And on the other side. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot, forward at the back, even aligned hips. And the knee presses up to the side, up to the side, with the left foot. Okay. Naturally occurring adiabatic processes are irreversible. So if they occur in nature, these adiabatic processes, they cannot be made in reverse. So they are adiabatic processes, and they can be waltzed with a state of being adiabatic. Adiabatic expansion causes a drop in temperature. Adiabatic compression of gas causes a rise in temperature. So if something is compressed, the heat increases, the temperature increases. If something is expanded, the heat decreases. And it was all mentioned with adiabatic compression, adiabatic expansion. So there are adiabatic walls, there's adiabatic compression, adiabatic expansion, and maybe it was adiabatic processes. The next exercise. The propeller. We're going down into full squat. The arms to the side. We're going down to the side and we're pressing the hand against the leg. We're looking up to the other hand. We are putting quite a lot of effort into it, and we're having a bend in the elbow. And we're switching to the other side. And the next exercise. Again, the leg up. Last time, this type of exercise. We're pressing against the knee on the outside, and we're opening that leg. And down again. And now time. The leg up, and we are pressing, and we're opening to the side. And back into the middle, not with the other leg. Pressing and the outside. So, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even aligned hips, and taller with the back. And again, and the last time. Right angle with the leg, even aligned hips, and taller with the back. Directly on to the next exercise. We're going into 1990 lunge, and we're pressing with the hand against the inside of the knee. And you have a tall leg, a straight leg. And on the other side. Magma undergoes before eruption out of a Vulcan Adiabatic Expansion. So the magma comes out of the earth through a volcan up, it undergoes adiabatic expansion. Adiabatic expansion makes things colder. So the magma would be even hotter if there would not be adiabatic expansion. In atmospheric thermodynamics, diabatic processes are processes in which heat is exchanged. And an adiabatic process is one where no heat is exchanged. So diabatic, where heat is exchanged, and adiabatic, no heat is exchanged. Now heat is exchanged. The temperature of it can rise, but the heat is not exchanged through the walls or through something which encloses it. Okay, the next, a bit more. The adiabatic process is since the earliest days of thermodynamic science important. So adiabatic processes are very important. Good to understand them. Adiabatic is Greek for impassable, meaning it cannot pass. Adiabatic is Greek for impassable, it cannot pass. Next exercise, again into 1990, lunge, and now, tall up with the back, we're pulling the leg up. And on the other side. And And now, next exercise, taller for the back. Now we're pulling a little underneath the knee. Let it shin bone. And on the other side. Taller for the back. And the neutral position of the spine. And everything else, energy can enter or leave a thermodynamic system which is enclosed by stiff walls only as heat or work. So if something is inside of rigid, stiff walls, energy can only be transferred through heat or work. A gas can be adiabatically isolated by a definite wall. So gas can be isolated by a wall which is adiabatically. Adiabatic means impassable. So rigid, stiff, impassable wall can adiabatically isolate a gas. An adiabatic process is a thermodynamic process which is happening without that heat is transferred to the environment. In adiabatic processes, heat is only transferred to the surroundings as work or mass flow. So it's impossible. The heat is not transferred through whatever is enclosing it. Energy transfer happens. Heat is transferred only through work or mass flow, but not through heat transfer. Something like that. The last exercise into the full lunge. And we're pulling now a little underneath the knee. And on the other side. Taller with the back. We're done with the trunk training, now we're stretching. One leg with the heel onto the ground, and we're stretching the leg. The other leg with the heel onto the ground, we're stretching with the leg. Now we're crab in the morning, the hands up. We're breathing in. And out, we're leaning back. Breathe in again, come up. And breathe out, lean again back. Breathe in, close the legs and the hands, read in the wind. Breathe in. And out and lean again back. And breathe in again, top up. And out, lean again back. Breathe in, back in the middle. The up diving swan, so go down. We're stretching both legs at the same time. Now stretch only the left leg. Bend the right leg. Now put the heel of the left leg to the outside and turn the body into the other direction in which the toes are pointing. Now change the toes of the left leg to the outside and the body to the right side. Now bend the left leg, straighten the right leg. Put the heel of the right leg to the outside and turn the body into the other direction to which the toes are pointing. Now put the toes of the right leg to the outside and go with the body into the other direction to which the toes are pointing. Put both legs again together and straighten both legs and stretch both legs at the same time. Now breathe in. And out, we're doing the up diving swan. And closing exercise. We are breathing in. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. And out. Now close the legs. And we're done with the trunk training. 1 minute left. In the pneumatic lighter, air is so fast compressed that it heats the air so much that the tinder in it inflames. So there is a specific type of lighter, it's not this one. It's a little bit different. And the air in it is compressed very fast. And that makes the air hot. If something is adiabatic or something like that, compressed, the temperature rises. And it rises so much that the tinder inside of the pneumatic lighter inflames. And the opposite here, at the upper side of plane wings, the air expands so fast that it cools down, which leads to cloud and fog forming. So air goes over the wings of a plane, and the air is expanded so much. So the air has this size, but then it goes up and it's expanded so fast, so much, that it cools down through the expansion, the adiabatic expansion, and that cools it down and that leads to cloud and fog forming. Something like that is what was adiabatic processes. I hope you understand it. I don't think we really do, but I thank you very much until next time.